Con, and we are live. How's everybody's Sabbath so far? How's everybody's Sabbath so far? Gone. There it is. There it is. Today's lesson is about the covenant, who it belongs to, who it's always been belonging to. We just have to remember who we are so we can claim it again. Shalom to everybody online. Lord willing, y'all enjoy this lesson. Lord willing, y'all enjoying y'all Sabbath. And let's get right into it. I want you to hold the book of Romans chapter 9. But before we bring that out, a lot of our brothers and sisters have an issue with God only choosing them, which is crazy. The Lord chose us from the foundation of the earth, our forefathers all the way down to us. And our nation, the nation of Israel, does not like that. They want everybody to be with them, but the Lord is not with that.
Can I say something?
Of course.
People always say, but what about the white man?
Always.
What about the Asian man? The white man ain't never chose you to be nothing but a slave. So why the hell are you worried about his salvation?
Right.
That just trips me out.
Now that's the truth, because I guarantee you, if it was on the opposite hand and Esau had the covenant, Esau wouldn't say, well, what about the so-called black people? What about them? What about the so-called Hispanics? That would never come out of Esau's mouth. But Jake, Israel, man, Esau is the number one priority and not the Lord. And it just trips me up that our people will fight tooth and nail for a person that can never have the covenant and throw their own ticket away for that. And it blows my mind. So let's start off with Romans chapter 9, verse 13.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
And it's that simple. The Lord has always loved us, and he's always hated Esau. It's just that simple. Read on.
Verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Are we as mortal human beings going to say, Lord, you're unrighteous for only loving us? You need to love everybody. Are we calling the Lord unrighteous for only loving us, for only giving us the covenant? A lot of our people think that. And it's sad and it's a shame. Shalom, Hebrew daughter. Shalom, everybody online once again. Can you read that from the top one more time, please?
Yeah, Hebrew daughter be tapping in. Man.
Oh yeah, she be here. You need to come to the Passover. Let's say if I'm wrong. Go for it.
Read it Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid.
There's no unrighteousness with God for choosing Israel over everybody else. There's no unrighteousness. The Lord does what he wants to do. He makes a covenant with who he wants to make a covenant with, and he destroys who he wants to destroy. He is the eternal power, and who are we to reply to him? Yeah, bring that out. Verse.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 20. Nay.
Actually, Salakia, verse 15.
Verse 15. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
The Lord has mercy and compassion on us, and we don't want it. We want everybody to have that mercy and compassion. But the Lord chose us to have his mercy and compassion upon us. But we say, no, everybody needs to have it, or I don't want it. Well, I'm glad the Lord chose us. We don't need nobody else, just us in the Lord. I'm glad he has mercy on us, and I'm glad he has compassion on us. And I'm grateful that the covenant is ours and only ours. And I'm going to show you guys that. Let me get, we're going to skip to 20 because we're going to run that back around. Let me get the book of Genesis. And before Noah, because this is going to be about Noah and the blessing that the Lord, the covenant that the Lord made with the earth, and everybody sees it every time it rains. But I want to bring it out. This is the first covenant, but also before Noah, the Lord blessed Adam with the gift of life, with the understanding of the Lord. And he passed it down to his children. That's how Noah got it. That's how Noah understood. That's how Noah, I don't want to spoil the precept, but in 6 and 9, that's how it happened. Let me get that. 6 and 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth,
Uh-huh.
the daughters were born unto them.
Uh-huh. Keep going to 2.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Uh-huh.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
So we see right here that the sons of men, the sons of God, which are Seth's children, Adam's son, Seth's children, they saw the other people and they started to multiply upon the earth. Can you jump down to verse 5?
Genesis chapter 6, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
So in this time of Seth, in the time of Adam, in the time of Noah, the Lord saw there was wickedness on the earth. Keep going.
And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
So whatever the people on the earth was thinking, their imagination was always on evil. The Lord had to do something about that. Whatever you thought negatively or anything that's against the Lord, they were thinking that continually. Jump down to verse 8.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
But Noah found grace in the eye of the Lord, besides all the people in the land. Keep going.
Verse 9. These are the generations of Noah.
Uh-huh.
Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations.
Noah was just and perfect. How can you be perfect before the Lord? By doing exactly what he says. Keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Noah was separate from the world. He was just and he was perfect because his forefather, Seth, from his father, Adam, passed him the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which the Lord gave him. Keep going.
Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God.
Uh-huh.
And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Uh-huh.
The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence.
Uh-huh.
And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth.
When the Lord looked down, he saw everybody was doing after their own wicked imagination. He said, I got to do something about this. But I see you over there, Noah. You doing as I asked, you and your children. I got something special for y'all. Let me get the book of Genesis chapter 9, verse 8.
He was separated from the world.
He was separate from the world, just like how we're supposed to be. And we're jumping around for the sake of time, but the Lord, we all know the story of the flood. The Lord made it rain. Everything on the earth died besides the 8 souls. Noah himself, his wife, his 3 children, and their wives. Now we're going to jump past that and go to the covenant that the Lord made with the earth. Verse 8, 9 and 8.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you.
Okay.
And with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you.
Because everybody on this earth descends from those 3 patriarchs, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Everybody on this earth. Keep going.
And of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. Verse 11. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off anymore by the waters.
So the Lord said, I'm going to make a covenant with everybody that comes after you and all the animals, that nobody shall be cut off by water ever again. Keep going. Neither shall all flesh be cut off anymore by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there be any more be a flood to destroy the earth. So a flood will never destroy the earth ever again, because the Lord lies not. Keep going.
Verse 12.
All the way to 13.
And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you.
And this is the covenant I'm going to make between me and you. Keep going.
And every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations.
Right.
I do set my bow in the cloud.
What bow is that? It's the rainbow that the Lord promised to never flood the earth again. That's his covenant with the earth. Everybody that's on earth and all the animals. Keep going.
I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
And that's the covenant that the Lord made with the earth, that he will never destroy it with water ever again. But this next destruction is going to be with fire. Just to let everybody know, that's a different lesson. But the Lord said he will never destroy the earth again with water, ever again. The Lord is not a man that he should lie. Let me get the book of Sirach, chapter 44, verse 17.
This is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, your Apocrypha, chapter 44, verse 17.
Read 18.
Verse 17 and 18. Noah was found perfect and righteous. In the time of wrath, he was taken in exchange for the world.
Just like how we're going to be, a lot of our brothers going to be ransomed for the righteous. A lot of our brothers and sisters going to be just like how Noah was. Noah was taken in exchange for the world. A lot of our brothers and sisters going to be the ransom for the righteous. It's the same thing. The Lord destroyed the world then. He's going to destroy it this time again. And it's the same concept. Keep going. Read it from the top again.
Book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 44, verse 17. Noah was found perfect and righteous. In the time of wrath, he was taken in exchange for the world.
Right.
Therefore, was he left as a remnant unto the earth when the flood came. An everlasting covenant was made with him that all flesh should perish no more by the flood.
That's the covenant. And that's also a cut to people saying, oh, Christ was the only perfect person. Yes, Christ was the perfect sacrifice, but you can also be perfect. It just, Christ was the perfect sacrifice. Noah was perfect. Jacob was perfect. A lot of people on the planet that kept the law, statutes, and commandments were perfect. But I digress. And I want you to hold your finger on that because we're going to read all the way down to 23. Now we're going to jump from Noah, the first covenant. Now we're going to jump to Abraham. Let me get Genesis 17.
Man.
17 and 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram.
So Abram descended from Shem. Keep going.
And said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect.
So the Lord came before Abraham and said, man, walk before me and I'll be your God. Be perfect.
Verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee.
The Lord said, I'm going to make a covenant between me and you. The definition of a covenant is a usual, formal, solemn, and binding agreement. A covenant is a binding agreement. It's between me and you. We're binded together. No one can break that up. Like I said again, the Lord is a man that he shall lie not. He made a covenant with Abraham and he kept it. Let's keep reading. Even though Abraham's seed that came after him have been disobedient, he still kept it because the Lord lies not. Keep going.
And will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
And Abraham is a father of many nations. A lot of people came from Abraham's seed. A lot of people multiplied from that. A lot of people. And that's the truth. The Lord's telling no lie. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Neither shalt thou name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee.
And we know that Abraham had a son prior to this. His name was Ishmael. And a lot of people think that Ishmael got the blessing. Well, Ishmael got a blessing, but there's a difference between a blessing and a covenant. People get that confused. Ishmael got a blessing. A lot of people got blessings in the scriptures, but only one particular people have the covenant. We have to understand that. We have to diagnose the difference, because the Lord did say, I'm going to make an everlasting covenant with the seed after thee. Well, Ishmael came after Abraham, did he not? He came from his seed, but who is going to get the covenant? Keep reading.
Book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 8. And I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession.
So the stipulation of the covenant is, I'm going to give you the land of Canaan forever. It's going to be your possession. That's one of the stipulations. Keep going.
For an everlasting possession, and I will be their God.
So you get the land of Canaan forever, and I will be your God. Sound good to me, don't it?
Keep
going.
And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations.
So you keep my covenant, you get everything. Your seed after thee, everybody has to do this. Keep going.
This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you.
So the stipulation of this covenant is, you get the land, I get to be your God, but you just got to circumcise your foreskin. That's all you got to do. That's one part of it, because it translates into more, but that's the beginning of the covenant. Do as I say, circumcise yourself, and I'll be your God, and you get this land. It's just that simple. Keep going.
Verse 12. And he that is 8 days old, Salaki.
That'd be crazy.
And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed.
So all your children must be circumcised. And if you do have people that work for you and they live in your house, they must be circumcised as well, because they're under your rule, your head over them. So they need to follow your rules, and it's just that simple. Let me get 15 and 22. Genesis 17, verse 15 through 22.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 15. And God said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her.
Actually, Salakia, for context, because Abraham did have a son before. Let's jump to Genesis 16 and 10. Actually, 16 and 7.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 7. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness.
Her is Hagar, Sarah's handmaid. Keep going.
By the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai.
And she was fleeing because Sarai couldn't have children. So she said, you know what, Abraham, take Hagar and go into her and have a child. And when that happened, Sarai became evil towards her, and she fled. Keep going.
And the angel of the Lord said unto her, return to thy mistress and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, and it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael.
So this is one of the seeds of Abraham. Keep going.
Because the Lord hath heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
And that's his blessing. That's what he gets. Keep going to verse 15, please.
Verse 13. And
15.
she called, verse 15. And Hagar bare Abram a son. And Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 60. Abraham was 66 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram.
So just as the angel said, you're going to have a son, you're going to name him Ishmael. It happened just like that. Genesis 17 and 16.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
And this is Sarai now. This is Sarah now getting blessings from the Lord, saying you're going to be a mother of many nations. Remember, she's 90 years old. Keep going. Verse 17.
Verse 17, and Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old?
And Abraham's like, man, I'm 100 years old. How am I have another kid? Keep going.
And shall Sarah, that is 90 years old, bear?
And my wife, she's 90, Lord. She about to have a child? 100-year-old and 90-year-old. You see that today, that's like, damn.
Ishmael was 14.
Had to be.
Yeah, because Abram was 86 when he had Ishmael.
Come. 86-year-old man.
And he's 100 now.
Crazy work. Verse 18.
Verse 18. And Abraham said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee.
And Abraham's like, what about Ishmael? What about him? Keep going.
Just like our people be like, what about this person? What
exactly.
About that person?
And look what the Lord says. Keep going.
And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed.
Abraham said, what about Ishmael? He said, your wife is going to bear you a son. Skipped right over him. Keep going.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
His name what?
Isaac.
Okay.
And I will establish my covenant with him.
Ishmael never got this. Ishmael, it was never said to Hagar or Ishmael. This was only said to Abraham and Isaac. Isaac gets the covenant. So now we walking down this ladder. Oh, excuse me, we're walking up the ladder. Excuse me. Keep going.
And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
And remember, that covenant is you get the land of Canaan. I get to be your God. You have to be circumcised on the 8th day, all males. This is the covenant that's being passed down from Abraham to Isaac. This is what's happening.
Shalakia King, I like how you said your God.
Khan.
He's only the God of Israel, man.
That's it. Nobody else.
The part of the covenant is the Heavenly Father being our God and only ours.
Khan.
He's not the God of everybody. That's
Khan.
He gave them their own gods. People don't understand that. When you read the book of Micah, it tells you when they come to give their offerings in the kingdom, it's going to be in the name of their God,
Khan.
not our God. Big difference. I love that you highlighted that.
People don't understand that. And our people get upset at that. Why isn't he the God of everybody else? Because he's not. Let me get that in Isaiah 55 and 8.
Can I say something too?
Of course.
So, and I like that you brought out the covenant with the rainbow. That was for every beast of the earth.
Everybody.
He made it clear this covenant for everybody, and he made it clear this covenant is for Isaac and his seed.
Yep.
So the Most High can say for everybody if he want to.
Gone.
He definitely right here did not say this is my covenant for Ishmael, Isaac, and everybody and everybody. He said Isaac.
Ishmael got a blessing. Like I said, don't confuse a blessing with a covenant. It's different. The covenant is with Abraham and Isaac. Let me get Isaiah 55 and 8. Because a lot of our people like to question God, which I don't understand. And this is the Lord's reply. I'm going to let the Lord speak for me.
Thus said the Lord.
Man, thus said the Lord.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8. For thy thoughts are not, Slakia, for my thoughts are not your thoughts.
So our thoughts aren't the Lord's thoughts.
God.
We're mortal men, sold under sin.
It's levels.
It's levels to this. And the Lord is letting us know. Just how like the angel was talking to Ezra, he was like, can you weigh fire? Have you searched out the depths of the ocean? The Lord is like, man, who are you talking to me? I created you. If I want to make a covenant with them and exclude you, I'm going to do it. And you can't say nothing about it. Because just like that, I could remove you from the face of history. You're a mortal man. Finish that off from the top.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
Man, my thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are not your ways.
God.
So just fall in line. Be happy that you're an Israelite, people. Y'all want everybody else, the covenant's for you, but you want everybody else. Man, be happy that it's for you. Be happy that the Lord had mercy upon you and let you be born an Israelite and a part of this family, a part of this bloodline. A lot of our people don't even understand that this is a family fraternity. Like you can't join this. You either are or you not.
Stop worrying about everybody else.
Man, it's just that simple. You either are or you not. And the people that are worrying about those that are not, which is crazy to me.
And the people that you worried about ain't worried about you
at all. Because if they are, they wouldn't worry about you.
They're not.
If they have the covenant,
they won't even let you live in their communities.
For sure.
Go try to rent a house over there off of 190th and Normandy and watch Moab tell you hell no.
Right.
It's a whole little section. Just I used to work over there. I used to deliver over there. It's nothing but Moabites. You cannot rent nothing over there. And we worried about the salvation of Moab.
No, of course.
Y'all boys going in. To y'all point, the black colleges, how we say we in Greek fraternities. The only reason why we got our Greek fraternities, quote unquote, is because we couldn't join the white man's fraternities. Fact, right? You know the history of that? And we thought we were doing something when we created our own, but we actually followed their customs and the tenets of what they believed in. That's why we got all this Greek paraphernalia. But to you guys' point, the white boys like, nah, y'all can't join this fraternity or sorority. Nah, y'all not included in this. And your point. But when it comes to us, we want to include everybody, and especially Esau.
For sure.
It gotta be something with that twin, because I don't want to.
It has to be.
Like when I got this knowledge, I didn't give a damn about no other nation.
For sure.
Like it just registered real quick to me. I don't understand how the first thought is, I gotta say massa too. I don't get it.
That oppression. And the cold thing is that if any other nation had this covenant, they wouldn't let you live around them. They're like, man, I got the covenant of God. What you got to do with me? I'm better than you. We of course be humble with it, but like, who are you to reply to me? Bro, if I do right by my Lord, who are you to say anything to me? I'm better than you. And that's how Israelites should feel, because we are one with the Most High, and we have a representative in heaven speaking for us, which is Christ. And we take that for light. Let me get
verse 9.
No, just 8. Let me get Genesis 17, and you could do 19 again, all the way to 22. Yeah, 17, 19.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 19. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed.
And remember, I'm going to keep reiterating that. The Lord said the covenant is you get the land of Canaan forever. I get to be I'm your God, and you just got to circumcise all your males on the 8th day after being born. And that was from Abraham, and now it's to Isaac. Keep going.
For an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him.
The Lord said, I blessed him already. What you tripping about? Keep going.
And will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac.
The Lord said, yeah, I heard Ishmael. I heard that's your firstborn. Cool. Congratulations. But the covenant is with Isaac. It's that simple. The Lord don't deal with emotions. Yeah, I understand you love your firstborn. I understand. Cool. Congratulations. You had him at 86. Congratulations. But your son, Isaac, and you see when Abraham was told to make a sacrifice in the wilderness, he was like, thy only son, Isaac. So the Lord didn't even recognize Ishmael as being a part of him. Why do we? But keep going. Verse 21 again.
Verse 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off taking with him.
Talking with him.
Wait,
and he left off talking with him.
Oh, Salakia. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham.
So after he told him what's going to happen, he just left. Just like that, like and no rebuttal. It is what it is. Take it for face value. Let me get Genesis 21:1, please. I want to show you that Isaac was born. There was nothing that happened to Sarah, and we're gonna go from there. Keep going.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 1 through 3. And the Lord visited Sarah, and as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac.
So the son that Abraham had with Sarah was Isaac. And we know Isaac has the covenant from his father Abraham. Let me get Ecclesiastes. Actually, we're going to wait on that. It's going to be after this precept. Let me get Genesis 26:1. 1 all the way to 5.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 26, verse 1 through 5. And there was a famine in the land, beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee.
And the Lord said, I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to bless you. Keep going.
For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries.
It sounds like the same thing he gave to his forefather, Abraham. Keep going.
And I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father.
What is the oath he swore upon Abraham? He's going to bless him with the covenant. You're going to have this land. I'm going to be your God. Circumcise children on the 8th day. Keep going.
And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
And that was the stipulation. If Abraham listened, and the seed after him, you're going to be blessed. You're going to have everything I said you're going to have, because the Lord lies not. Abraham was perfect before the Lord. Isaac got it. Isaac was perfect before the Lord. We're not going to jump the gun. But let me get Sirach 44 and start at verse 19.
It's the book of Sirach. Ecclesiastic is in your Apocrypha, chapter 44, verse 19. Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High.
He did what?
Who kept the law of the Most High, and was in covenant with him.
He was a what?
In covenant with him.
He had a binding agreement with the Most High God. Okay.
He established the covenant in his flesh. And when he was proved, he was found faithful.
That being proved was when he was told to sacrifice his only son. And right when he was about to do it, the angel stopped. The angel came and said, stop. And his works showed that he was faithful. Keep going.
Verse 21. Therefore, he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed.
In his seed. Keep going.
And that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth. And exalt his seed as the stars. And cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land.
Read verse 22.
Verse 22. With Isaac.
With who?
With Isaac. Did he establish likewise.
So whatever he blessed Abraham with, Isaac got it as well. Keep going.
For Abraham, his father's sake.
For Abraham's sake, because Abraham did as the Lord commanded him to do. Keep going.
The blessing of all men and the covenant.
And the what?
And the covenant.
So who has the covenant so far?
Isaac.
All praise to the Most High God.
Abraham, Isaac.
And we're gonna say that verse 23. That's a hot one. Let's roll to Genesis 17 to 21 to reiterate that, and then after that, we're gonna jump to Genesis 25.
17, 21?
Yes, sir.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
Let's jump to Genesis 25.
And
you start at 21.
this is book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21.
Lord willing, everybody's enjoying this lesson. Keep going.
And Isaac entreated the Lord,
The same one with the covenant.
for his wife, because she was barren.
Okay.
And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her.
Okay.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
You're like, Lord, if you wanted me to have children, why are they struggling within me? Keep going.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nationalities. Keep going.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated.
And 2 different people are in thy womb, and they're going to be separated
From
Keep
thy
going.
bowels.
Uh-huh.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So someone's going to be stronger than the other.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
So whoever comes out first is going to serve the younger one.
At the end of the day.
Keep going.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
And family, this is prophecy. The elder shall serve the younger. This is prophecy. Isaiah 14 in full effect. For sure. Second Ezra 6 and 9. Keep going.
Verse 25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
So this is the firstborn child, Esau, the Edomite. Keep going.
Verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob.
Okay.
And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them.
Verse 29.
Verse 29.
So now we have the 2 children being born, just like the Lord said. 2 manners of people. One was described how he came out looking, and the other one wasn't. I mean,
because he was normal.
He was normal. He looked like everybody else on the face of the earth. But Esau had to be described because he looked different. Verse 29.
Verse 29. And Jacob sod pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
Okay, so Jacob was cooking, and Esau came from doing what he was doing, and he was faint. He was tired. Keep going.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Right.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Jacob said, sell me your birthright. A birthright is a particular right of possession or privilege one has from birth, especially as the eldest child. And in our culture, the eldest child gets the lump sum of the father. He gets a big portion of the land. He gets a lot of his cattle. So his firstborn can set it off right. That's our history. Read 31 again.
Verse 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Jacob says, sell me what you have as being a firstborn. That's what he told him. Whatever in our culture, what you have as a firstborn is precious. Sell it to me because you hungry. Look what Esau said. Keep going.
And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
He's like, man, I'm about to die. What? Keep going.
And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
I don't care if I'm firstborn. You can have it. I'm hungry. I'm about to die. Keep going.
And Jacob said, swear to me this day.
Swear to me to this day.
And he sware unto him.
And
he sold his birthright
Esau
unto
gave
Jacob.
Up his right to being the eldest child and what comes with that. Keep going.
Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage and lentils. And he said, eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Esau didn't give a damn about his birthright. And what La was teaching last night, it made me think, like, bro, we're at the bottom of every stat. We struggling, and Esau still hates us and tries to destroy us. I'm like, why? And Kalab was like, because of the birthright, brother. Through the spirit, they might have forgot it, but through the spirit, they remember. Damn, we sold our birthright to him. Damn, we could have had that blessing. Because that blessing is mighty. They mad in the spirit. He despised it. Esau despised it, but his children will understand, like, damn, our forefather fucked up. My bad. I'm cussing a little too much. Our forefather messed up. Let me get Genesis 27 and 28, please.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 28.
So remember, Esau sold his birthright. The elder shall serve the younger. Keep going.
Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven.
And this is Isaac blessing his child Jacob. Keep going. So he already has a birthright. Now he's about to get a blessing as well. Keep going.
And the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine.
So we're gonna have the food. We're gonna be well off. We're gonna have the dew of heaven. Whatever the dew of heaven touches, that's gonna be us. The earth is given it. Excuse me. The earth was made for us. Keep going.
Come. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
So when I was reading this, and I'm like, damn, when did we ever have our blessing in full effect? Thinking about it, because Esau has this blessing already. He's ruling it. He's living it to the full effect. But I'm thinking like us, like, when did we ever get our blessing? And we saw a glimpse of it with Solomon, the 40 years of peace. But in totality, when did we truly get it? And it hit me like, we're going to get Jacob's blessing, which we are the children of Jacob. We're going to get that blessing when Christ comes back. When we're ruling forever. It says, let people serve thee. When Christ comes back, people are going to serve us. It says, and nations bow down to thee. Everyone's going to bow to the Lord. And we're going to be gods over them. Keep reading.
Verse 30.
Be Lord over thy brethren. Verse 29.
Verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee.
That's going to happen when Christ comes back, when we have full dominion. Keep going.
Be Lord over thy brethren.
And we're going to be Lord over Esau. We're going to be power over Esau. Keep going.
Bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee.
And they're going to bow down to us. They're going to come from the four corners of the earth and saying, we surely have inherited lives. They're going to cleave unto the house of Jacob. These things are going to happen. We just haven't seen the full totality of the blessing yet. Keep going.
Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee.
And how you gonna curse us is when we tell you to come up to the house of Jerusalem and tell you to keep the Feast of Tabernacles, and you don't do it, you're not getting no rain. You're not getting nothing until you actually listen to and do what we said. Let me get Psalms chapter 105, verse 6. So we see Jacob having the blessing. We see Jacob having the birthright. We see Abraham and Isaac passing it down to their children. After that, I want you to finish Sirach 44. All right. Let me jump to it real quick, please. Yes, sir.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 6. O seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen.
Okay.
He is the Lord, our God.
He is the Lord, our God. Abraham is servant and Jacob is chosen. He is our God. He's not the God of everybody. He's our God. Keep going.
His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever.
His covenant is between Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that they're going to have the land. I'm going to be your God. You're going to circumcise your children on the 8th day. And now another thing was folded into the covenant, but we're going to get into it. We're not going to jump the gun. Keep going.
The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations.
Because he said seed after seed after seed. Keep going.
Which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law.
So the covenant he made with Isaac and an oath unto, the covenant he made with Abraham and oath unto Isaac, he confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law. So we see the law being integrated into the covenant, into the oath that the Lord made with Abraham, Isaac, and now it's rest upon Jacob. Keep going.
The same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
That means forever, y'all. Keep going.
Saying unto thee, will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance.
Just like he told Abraham and Isaac. It's the same thing. We have the land of Canaan. We have the law, statutes, and commandments. We have the Lord on our side. It's ours. It's literally ours. It's nobody else's but ours.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus saith the Lord. Let me get, now we went over Abraham, we went over Isaac, we went over Jacob. Let me finish that in Sirach 44 in verse, you can start at 22 to 23, please.
It's the book of Sirach. Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 44, verse 22, 23, verse 22. With Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them.
So that covenant, that blessing, it was transferred to Jacob, and then Jacob transferred it to the 12 tribes. So from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, 12 tribes, and it ends right there. And it stops with us, and we're going to show that. That's a y'all should read Sirach 44. Great chapter. Let me jump to Exodus chapter 1. Now I'm going to show you the covenant with Israel. Because remember, it was given from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then Jacob had 12 sons, and his 12 sons got the covenant as well. 1 and 1.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now, these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt. Every man in his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, and all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
And these are our forefathers. Listen how you didn't hear black, colored, Hispanic, Native American, Oaxacan, Guatemalan, Honduran, Brazilian, Chilean, Argentinian. You didn't hear none of those things. You heard Reuben, Simeon, Levi. These are the house of Israel. This is who we are. We descend from these men, and these men have a beautiful promise to them and to the seed after them. And it's for y'all online. But our people say, no, we want the white man to be with us. He's not a part of it. Brother Kurt, I'm out.
Khan, to add on to that, I don't know if you wrote it down. Second Ezra 3, 16 and 17. I'm sorry, 15 and 16 is a clear cut to when our people try to, rescue Esau.
Khan, you said Second Ezra 3 and 15.
Second Ezra 3, 15 and 16.
No, bring that out. I don't think I wrote that one down. Good looking.
It's the book of Second Ezra, chapter 3, verse 15 and 16. And madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob, and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau, And so Jacob became a great multitude.
Great precept, Ak. Great precept. Jump back to Exodus 1. Jump back to Exodus 1 and let's go to verse 8. So remember, we're in Egypt with our forefather Jacob. The 12 tribes is rocking with him. 70 souls came in. But now I want to show you how we were there and then how we left. Keep going. Jump down to verse 8.
This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
So remember, Joseph was in Egypt before. The patriarchs, they pushed Joseph into a ditch, and who came and got him?
I forgot his name.
Say it again. The Midianites. One of them Hamite nations came and got him and took him into Egypt, and Joseph became a great man. But the king didn't know. The new king that rose up didn't know Joseph. Keep going.
Verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Man, there's more of them, and they stronger than us. Keep going.
That remind me of the Esau today saying, man, dang, man, these Mexicans just come over here and had like 10 kids, man. They taking over.
All praise to the Most High. This is their land. I never understood that. Our people forget the history. Like 10 tribe, this was their land. And then Esau has the audacity to make an invisible border and say, you can't cross this, even though it was yours. You can't cross it. And if you cross it, you're illegal. But the European man is the original illegal, immigrant,
Alien.
the illegal alien. But our people don't understand that. They don't even look at that. Being pushed out of your own land and calling yourself something that you're not. Reverse the role and pointing at them. They're the true thugs. They the true gangsters. They the true savages.
Heathens.
The original heathens. Keep going.
Verse
10.
10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
So he's like, look, man, we got to be wise, man. Look, they multiply. If they multiply and there's a war falls out, they're better than us. Now we got to deal wisely with them. We got to put them under hard bondage. Now, with that understanding, let's jump to Exodus 2 and 23.
The book of Exodus chapter 2, verse 23. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage.
So
and
Israel sighed like, damn, man, we still here. It's like, it's becoming too much. You feel me? Keep going.
And they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the bondage. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham.
You remembered his what?
His covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob.
So those three, remember, there's other children amongst those mixed. There was Ishmael, there was Esau, but the Lord said, I remember this covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Keep going.
And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them.
The Lord respects us as a nation of people. The Lord loves us, but we want to be like everybody else. We want to be like the heathen. Madness. Let me get Exodus 19. And we're going to skip over the Exodus. We know there's 10 plagues. Egypt fell, never been the same ever since. And now we're traveling into Mount Sinai, and we have gotten there. Let me get 19 and 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself.
The Lord's like, man, go to them and tell them, you saw how I delivered you. You saw how I took care of you. Keep going.
Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant.
Same thing he told Abraham. If you listen to my voice and keep my covenant, keep going.
Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
If you keep my covenant, then you will be a peculiar people above all people, for all the earth is mine.
For all the earth is mine.
If we listen, there's always a stipulation with the Lord. Hey, you got curses, you got blessings. If you listen, you get the blessing. If you don't, you get the curses. He's a balanced father. Keep going.
And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Keep going.
And Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him.
So everything the Lord told Moses, Moses went back to the children of Israel and he told them. And what did we say?
And all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do.
What we say?
All that the Lord has spoken, we will do.
Those is us. Everybody in this room. Everybody online that's an Israelite. Everybody that's going to watch this. Our forefathers have said, all that the Lord have spoken, we will do. We are a part of that covenant, whether you like it or you don't. You're going to be blessed by it, or you're going to be cursed by it. Even if some people will be like, oh, well, that's not my God. That's not my religion. It doesn't matter. You're a part of this family. You're going to be judged by it. The woman at my job, bless her soul, but she wilding. I'm talking to her, and she like, yeah, Jacob, that's nice, but that's your religion. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you have no idea. Like, you my sister, you're a part of this family. Like, the Lord gonna get with you. Our forefather says, all that the Lord has spoken, we shall do. And it gets better and worse for the people that don't believe that they are part of this. Let me get Exodus 24:1. Because this is where it was sealed. When the Lord, Lord, we're going to do everything you said. But this in Exodus 24 is where it was sealed. Like, man, ain't no going back from this. We in this for life. From generation to generation. Whether you listen or whether you don't. Keep going.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 24, verse 1. And he said unto Moses, come up unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Lord have said, we will do. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Lord have said will we do, and be obedient.
And be obedient. Everything the Lord said we will do, and we will do it, and we will be obedient. Keep going.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant.
Behold the what?
Behold, the blood of the covenant, which the Lord had made with you concerning all these words.
All those words was the law, statutes, and commandments, and what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was promised. It was sealed in blood. And you're a part of that. And to answer the brother's question, Dejani, all Israelites are saints, but you know a saint is by keeping the commandments, because the Lord gave us a covenant. Let me get Psalms 50:5, because just like how the Lord said all Israel is in Israel, you're a saint by doing what God said.
Ready?
50:5, yeah.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
What is the stipulation of the covenant? If you obey to all the words that I say, then I will be your God. Let me get, and then I will give you the land. And read Revelations 14:12.
Just because you a saint don't mean the Most High can't blow your candle out.
God. And saints listen to the Lord. The saints obey the commandments of the Most High God. 14:12.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that
those saints. This is what they're going to be doing, which qualifies them as being true saints. Keep going.
Here are they that keep the commandments of God.
That keep the commandments of God, which the covenant was made with. Keep going.
And the faith of Yahushua.
And of course, the faith of Christ. That's what qualifies you of being a saint. That's because you're listening to what the Lord said and you're believing in his son as it is written. Let me get Leviticus 26 and 40.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me.
And this is for everybody current day. If we shall confess our iniquity and the iniquities of our forefathers, and we disrespected and we trespass against the Most High God, keep going, and we walked contrary to him, meaning against him, keep going.
And that I also have walked contrary unto them and have brought them into the land of their enemies. If then their uncircumcised hearts be humble,
because if we humble our uncircumcised hearts, keep going,
and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity,
and if we not complaining about the things that we brought upon ourselves, keep going,
then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them. And they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away.
The Lord made a promise to us. He will always be our God. And the Lord is not a man that he shall lie not. Keep going.
Neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly.
The Lord said, I'm gonna whoop you, but I ain't gonna destroy you. I made a promise with your forefathers, which I respected and I loved. Yes, you're disobedient, but you're gonna get whooped, but you're not gonna be destroyed utterly. Keep going.
I'm gonna bring you low to humble you.
Exactly. And just like a lot of us, the Lord blessing us with this gift, the Lord had to humble us to a very low estate to rise us back up. Because I don't know if you guys noticed that the Lord uses the lowest man on the totem pole to make him the greatest man, to exhort his power. The Lord has always done that. And I see that that's a very consistent thing in the scriptures. He used the lowest man on the totem pole with David, the shepherd boy, the young one. And he became a great king in Israel. Keep going.
Neither will I abhor them, to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Lord their God. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors,
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob,
whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
And we just read that in the book of Exodus. Let me get 2 Ezra 5 and 23. And before I jump into that, I wanted to talk about what I started in the beginning with. A lot of people complain about the Lord and how the Lord only chose certain people, and why didn't he choose everybody else? Deshaun, are we made in the Lord's image? Do we share things that the Lord has? If the Lord, he says a jealous God. Some of us are jealous type of person in here. The Lord chooses and he has preferences. And I'm going to read, and we have the same thing. Some of us fond certain people other than others. Some of us, I prefer a Hershey bar over a Snicker bar. I prefer going here for vacation instead of there. I prefer that rose for my woman instead of that one. I prefer this instead of that. The Lord is the same way. And I want to read you guys that in the scriptures. Let me get 5 and 23.
This is Second Esdras chapter 5, verse 23.
Uh-huh.
And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
Uh-huh.
And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit.
Uh-huh.
And of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
Do you see that? The Lord created all things. He created all vines. He created all pits. He created all flowers. But he chose one to be his favorite from each thing. Keep going.
There's nothing wrong with having favorites.
There's nothing wrong with that. And we're the Lord's favorite.
Come.
That's what I'm showing you guys. It's like the Lord, we're similar. We're similar, and people don't understand that because they don't read the scriptures. The Lord created everything on the earth, but he says, you know what? I like the lily better than the rose. I like the lily better than the sunflower.
Is anything wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But some people say it is. I don't. Hey man, we a part of that nation that the Lord likes. I ain't mad at it at all. I'm happy. Keep going.
Verse 25. And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river. And of all builded cities,
and that river is the Jordan River. Keep going.
And of all the builded cities, thou hast hollowed Zion unto itself, and to thyself.
All the cities of the earth, the Lord chose Zion. Keep going.
And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove.
All the fowls, the hawk, the eagle, the vulture, everything. The Lord said, the dove is my favorite. Keep going.
And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep.
The Lord could have chose a horse, a cow, buffalo, a bison, whatever. But he said, you know what? I like that sheep. Keep going.
And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people.
Thou hast gotten thee what?
Thou hast gotten thee one people.
All the people that are upon the face of the earth, all the nations, the Lord said he's gotten him one people, and that is the nation of Israel.
God.
Who are you to reply to God and say, God, that's not right? We do the same thing. I like Turks and Caicos over Costa Rica. All right, you got a preference. The Lord got a preference. You like your cousin better than your brother. Okay, you got a preference. The Lord does it as well. Why can't the Lord do it, but we can? Is that righteous? Are we unrighteous against God?
I got a favorite uncle. You going off?
Man, that's what we saying. The Lord can't choose one person, but we can. Yeah, we got favorite colors. I like red better than yellow. Why? Oh, because that's just what I like. Okay, well, the Lord has Israel over everybody else. Nah, that's not right. Damn, you hypocrite. Why can't the Lord, the one that created all things, do as he wants? Why you got to minimize the Lord? Madness. Keep going from 27 again.
We were on. Okay, yeah. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people. And unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all.
Man, the Lord gave us a law. We see that it was from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob to the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
One people he gave a law.
One people, not everybody. That goes along with a lot of precepts. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Let me get the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 21. We almost done.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 21. As for me, this is my covenant with them.
That them is Jacob. That them is Israel. Keep going.
Saith the Lord, my spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed's seed, saith the Lord, from henceforth and forever.
That covenant with Israel will be here forever. We will have the law, we will have the land, and the Lord will be our God forever. Nobody else's. He will be ours. Our is a possessive word, and people don't like that. The ones of the covenant don't like that, which blows my mind. But let me get 1 Chronicles 17 and 21. Come.
This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 17, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people,
Is
Israel.
anybody else like Israel? We always talk about the physical. Cool. We run faster and jump higher than other people. We could hit the ball harder. We can do everything. But what about the intellectual? Who's like us? What about who could put? I'm not gonna cuss, but Antonio Brown said, "I put that ish on." You feel me? Who dress like us? Who cook like us? Who dance like us? Who's better fathers and mothers than us? Who glories through tribulation like us? Who can go through slavery and come out smiling and raise a family and build a community and have it torn down and we still smiling? Say it again. And invent stuff and get it stolen from us and we still smiling? Who can do it like us? Nobody can. What one people on the earth is like Israel? Nobody's like us. Nobody. That's why the covenant is with us, because we're special and we're peculiar people unto the Most High God. Keep going.
And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, Israel,
Mm-hmm.
whom God went to redeem to be his own people, to make thee a name of greatness and terribleness, and Salakia, by driving out nations from before thy people, whom thou hast redeemed out of Egypt.
And we're great and terrible because people know that the Most High God is with the children of Israel. So when we come into town, guess who's coming as well? The one that put the sun in the sky. The one that feeds all the birds and houses the grass with flowers. That tells the ocean, don't pass that. That's the one that comes with us. That's why we have a terrible name, because we have God on our side. Nobody else has that. Keep going.
Verse 22. For thy people, Israel, didst thou make thine own people forever.
For what?
Forever.
We are the Lord's people forever. That's for all you people out there that say, no, that's not my God. That's not my religion. The Lord speaks for you. You his people forever. So if you don't like it,
too bad.
Oh, too bad. But look, guess what? It's commanded of you to obey and be obedient. If you don't do that, there's a repercussion for that. That's why a lot of our people are going through single parent households. That's why their grandma's dying at 50 and 60. This is why things don't happen, because you're stubborn. And it's okay. A lot of us are stubborn in here, but we still obey. We're stubborn in our own ways. Some would say. Read 22 again.
Verse 22. First Chronicles chapter 17, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
For thy people Israel didst thou make thy own people forever, and thou, Lord, becamest their God.
That's their God again. You keep seeing that through the scriptures.
Possessive pronouns.
You don't see that with anybody else. Ammon is, I'm the Lord God of Ammon. No, you only see that with Israel. We play stupid. It's all good. I want to share the thing across when we just came here, and the brothers will be across the street preaching. We would go over to him and be like, brother, like, you know, the covenant is yours. Like, you the children of God, like you God's chosen. And they're like, nah, we're just Gentiles. Nah, we're just heathen. I'm like, damn, who the real people then? The people over in Israel. I'm like, oh, brother, nobody has and these is 10 tribe brothers. Nobody has a zeal. Well, I don't speak Spanish, but they over there getting off. They getting off. You feel me? Nobody talking like them.
We told them Jesus looked like us, like me and you.
Uh-huh.
No.
Jesus Cristo Blanco. Like, damn, brother, you the real people. Nah, I'm just a heathen. I'm just a Gentile, bro. Grafted in by Christ. I'm like, damn, bro. Only if you knew Paul was talking to you. Paul was his audience was you. That's why he spoke how he spoke. Because he knew that you were so far gone that I have to slowly do it. And it sounds confusing, but our people have to look into the history. And you really have to pair history with the scriptures, because you have to know where where the children of Israel were scattered to, and the bulk of us were, and what languages we spoke. And then just like how we are today, we call ourselves American, but we're Israelites. It's just the same thing in the past. We were scattered in Greece, So we called ourselves Greeks, but we were always Israelites. The nationality is Greece, but the bloodline is Israel. Just like Paul. He said, I'm a Roman. You going to arrest a Roman? You going to keep a Roman in prison? He's like, damn, he's a Roman? Yeah, I'm a Roman, but I'm an Israelite as well. My nationality, Rome. My bloodline, Israel. Covenant, Israel. It's a comparison. Our people don't see that, but you know what? Lord willing, y'all will. Let me get the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 1. All praise to the Most High, Lord willing, everybody's enjoying the lesson. You know, like I said, a couple weeks ago, I don't do this for myself. I do this for y'all. So everybody that wants to learn can be edified through the Spirit of the Most High God. Let me get 9 and 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that I myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
So Paul's brethren and kinsmen are who?
Who are Israelites.
Those are his kinsmen. Those are his brethren. Keep going because it gets better.
To whom pertaineth the adoption.
Wait, the Israelites have the adoption?
The grafting in.
Okay, keep going.
And the glory.
The praise of God, okay.
And the covenants.
The what?
The covenants, plural.
The law, the land, the circumcision.
The promises.
The promises. The Lord's our God only. That belongs to the Israelites only. This is the New Testament, which everybody loves to read, but just skips over this. Keep going.
And it's probably not in some people's Bible. They probably took it out.
Not for sure. They get a Sharpie on this one. Keep going.
And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law was only given to the Israelites. Keep going.
And the service of God.
The service of God. Ain't that something? We're all a nation of kings and priests. We service the Most High. We do as the Most High ask. Keep going.
If you're not an Israelite, you shouldn't even be a pastor.
For sure. Bring that out.
Joel Osteen, he going off, man.
For sure. He in it for the bread.
For sure.
But it's all good. The Lord said he gonna pay the pastors back.
And the services of God and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh, Hamashiach came, who is over all, God bless forever. Amen.
This is who Christ came back for. The Israelites that have everything. The adoption, the glory, the covenant, the giving of the law, and the service of God and the promises. That's who Christ came for, the Israelites. Let me get the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. That's going to be my last precept. And while the brother's getting that, remember, family, you read the scriptures, there's two covenants. There's one that we're living in right now, and we're ushering into the second one. To everybody online, look at me. We are not in the new covenant yet. Reading this is going to show you that we're not in it. Stop coming to our pages, dropping nonsense. Read the Bible for yourself. Look at me. Read it for yourself. Read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant.
A what?
A new covenant.
A new binding agreement
with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Wait, is everybody else in that? Are we reading that right?
Northern and Southern Kingdom.
Who?
Northern and Southern Kingdom.
That's it, right?
Northern and Southern Kingdom.
Where is everybody else in this? The Lord said, I'm going to make a new binding agreement with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Keep going.
And just to not skip over this, and he separated both because they had split. So this is where the adoption comes in. Because Israel was grafted out.
For sure.
So they're grafted back in.
For sure.
Okay. So new
thank you for pointing that out.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
With whose fathers?
With their fathers.
We got to slow it down.
Not according to the covenant.
Just like how they say in battle rap, slow it down. I just dissed you.
You
feel me?
Mix, no.
Say it again.
Chop and screw it.
Chop. Let's do it. Let's read it slow. Not according to what?
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
The Lord has only made a covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which the 12 tribes of Israel descend from. Their fathers. Keep going.
In the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Everybody wasn't in the land of Egypt. Another cut. We don't share the same fathers, and everybody didn't leave with us. Every single nation on the face of the earth did not leave Egypt and was at Mount Sinai and said, we will do as you said. Keep going.
Which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts.
The Lord says you're going to do what?
I will put my law in their inward parts.
The Lord said he's going to put his law in our minds, in our hearts. Keep going.
In their inward parts, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord.
This is how you know we're not in a new covenant, because we're still teaching our people. And do you know the Lord's name? You know what the Lord requires of you? We still teaching our people this concept, meaning we're not in the new covenant yet. Just off of that by itself, they shall teach no more every man his neighbor.
If the Christians say we're in a new covenant, why people going to church?
I don't know.
Because they don't read the Bible.
Cold game. Read verse 34 again.
Verse 34. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me.
Everybody's going to know the Lord. We're not going to have people in the streets. Do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God. I don't know who God is. When at our old school, the light-skinned sister, she is attracted to the same sex, with the face tattoos and this, and it was like, and what's your God's name? She was like, Nike. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
You remember that girl?
No, that was like right before I came.
But the video's up. Go and watch that. If we was in the new covenant, that would never happen. Like, who's your God? The Most High, Yahweh. That's our Father. She wouldn't have said Nike. Madness. Keep going.
For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them.
And that shows hierarchy in the kingdom as well.
Saith the Lord, for I will forgive their iniquity and will remember their sins no more.
We're not going to be sinning no more. We're going to have the law in our heart, and we're going to be dwelling with the Most High God. Lord willing, y'all enjoyed this lesson. Lord willing, y'all keep the Sabbath holy and obey the covenant which the Most High made with us and our forefathers. Lord willing, everybody has a beautiful night. And until next time, family, shalom.
Shalom.